all these eyeshadow palettes, you guys. I have a metric butt ton of eyeshadow palettes. Unfortunately, the filming space and my office has absolutely no AC. This has become a real problem for the summer because now my lipsticks are starting to melt and my makeup is going to go bad a lot quicker. So what I have decided to do is downsize my makeup collection. And this video is showing you at least my eyeshadow palettes that I'm going to be keeping in my office for the summertime. The rest of these are going to go into storage. So these are going to go into storage, climate controlled storage, for probably, I'm guessing, the end of August, maybe September, depending on the weather and how it goes. So these 10 eyeshadow palettes are going to be the only eyeshadow palettes I use for all of July. What are the months? July, August, September, and that's it. So for 3 months. Now, what does this mean for my project pan? You guys might be asking. That does mean that my Pan That Eyeshadow is going to go on hold because that is not one of the eyeshadow palettes I want to keep in here. What eyeshadow palettes do I want to keep in my office? Let's go through them. This first one's going to come as no surprise to you guys. It is the Melt Amore Mariposa eyeshadow palette, and you guys, it has my purples, my greens, and it does have a row of neutrals, which does make it a very colorful but neutral leaning palette that I can use for numerous different occasions, and I will not, absolutely not have that in my collection. That was a lot of knots. The next one, again, is gonna come as no surprise. It is the Makeup Revolution Forever Flawless, and it is the Amethyst palette. I have gone on and on and on. If you guys have seen my May favorites, you know this is in it. I absolutely love this eyeshadow palette. It's staying. The next one is going to be the Makeup Revolution, and this is the Forever Flawless Aventurine palette. And I chose this one because it can do a lot of neutral looks. It does have the greens and the teals in it, which I do appreciate, but it can do some solid neutral looks. So colorful and neutral. I have 3 more palettes, and then I have some that are in a series, which might surprise you guys. But the next one would be the Glamlight Frosted Flakes palette, and it has my blues and my oranges, you guys. This one is my staple palette for a blue look, and I do like to do a blue look. So this one is going to be staying in my collection. And as you probably guessed, the Beauty Bay Wilderness palette as well. It's got blues, it's got reds, it's got greens. It even has this quad over here that has a neutral look if I want it to. So this one here, I actually have used this one to create a beautiful red look. If I can find a picture of it, I'll put it up on the screen right now. But it's gorgeous and it gives me a lot of options for the summertime. The one neutral palette that I'm going to be keeping out of storage is going to be the Morphe 35X No Silent Nights. This was a holiday release, but I have talked about it. I believe it was in my November favorites, but it's got the perfect, like, they have the rows set up for you. So as you can see, it's a very neutral palette, but if I want a more warm tone, a more red tone, a more brown tone, a more neutral, more purplish, like, this would be a go-to neutral palette for any neutral look I want. That's not colorful because some of my more neutral looks can be colorful. Now, the last 4 palettes are actually in a series, and I just couldn't. You guys, I love Rude Cosmetics manga series so much. So I have palette 1 through 4 here, and this one is going to be Adventures of Rude Co, and this is their #1 palette. And of course it's colorful. Now this does have a pressed glitter in it, which I don't in general use, but I do love this color story. And as you guys can see, with the palettes that I'm keeping, I pretty much have every color story imaginable at my fingertips. This next one is going to be the #2 palette, and it is the Attitude Academia palette. And this is actually the palette that I have on my eyes today. And you guys, hold on, let me get close here. I love this look. I did like a green, a purple, like mixed matching there. They're my 2 favorite colors. If you did not know that, green and purple are my 2 favorite colors. So I love this palette. I just recently, my dog just laid on the palettes. Okay. I just recently got this one and I've been loving it. Oh, you guys, these palettes are so good from Rude Cosmetics. They are awesome. The third one here is the First Love Diary, and if you guys remember, this was actually my very first Rude Cosmetics manga palette, my very first Rude Cosmetics palette to start with, and it's got the purples, it's got the reds, and it's just a beautiful color story, and I absolutely love it. Now, the thing about these Rude Cosmetics ones is they do have duochromes in them. The ones that I'm wearing on my eyes today are duochrome, but like this one here is actually more of a purple blue, even though you can only really see the blue in that one. And they're just gorgeous. I love the duochromes and the Rude Cosmetics manga palettes. So good. And last but not least is the Cat Girl Chronicles, and this is number 4 in the series. This is probably my least used out of all of them, but this is definitely more of a cool tone winter vibe, at least for me. So I do like this one, and it does have the blue and the teals in it, and it does have some beautiful duochrome and shimmer shadows in there that I can use with my other palettes. But that's it, you guys. Oh my gosh. These are 10 palettes that I am keeping in my collection. These are the only 10 palettes that are staying in my office, and the only 10 palettes that I'm using for the next 3 months. This is gonna be interesting. I think I might actually do a series where I take the new palettes that are coming out and try to do like looks that I could do with them with the 10 palettes that I'm keeping. I might not. We'll have to see how that works. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, if you would go ahead and hit that like button, and while you're down there, go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed this kind of content, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!